He is, the youngest is 16 months.
3 months.
4 months old on Tuesday.
Ben?
Mila Maria.
Charlie.
And how much time did you have to take off?
I chose to take off 8 months after he was born. So he was born on Christmas Eve, and I just took the rest of the school year off.
If
6
any?
days.
I only got to take off 2.5 months. Actually, I took off a little longer before he was born, so maybe 3 months total.
Yes. It was very hard to come back to work.
Yes.
Very hard to come back to work. I did not want to come back to work.
I had a harder time when he was in daycare, but now we have a former Holt student who is actually a nanny in our house, and because my kids know her, they are much more comfortable, and I feel happy that they're at our house and that our two boys are together. So
It's very scary.
His grandmas take care of him, so I know he's in good hands, but I get very jealous that they get to spend all day with him, and I don't.
yes, not so much with our youngest son, but our older son is, he's almost 4, and so he was, when he moved up to the preschool class, he started, talking about like kids who were pretending to be superheroes and how they were fighting, and so he started to become more aggressive, and I was really worried about that. So.
No, she'll get that from home.
Not yet. I haven't even thought about that. No, not yet. Except for some family members I don't want him near, but...
Yes.
Yes.
And what's the hardest part about that?
Not getting enough sleep. Worrying. Like I feel like I'm always worrying that I'm not doing enough for my kids, but I'm also worrying that I'm not doing enough for my students. And so there's always that tension, and it has not gotten easier in the 4 years since I've had kids.
Did your husband also take time off work?
He took 2 weeks, with each of our kids, he took 2 weeks after they were born, but didn't take any additional time really.
And also, if you could go part-time or do an extended leave, would you?
Yes, yes. And I did with both kids. I took 6 months with Jack and 8 months with Ben, and it was wonderful. And if I could do part-time, I absolutely would.
And what's the hardest thing about it?
Not having enough time to do it all.
If you could go part-time or do an extended leave, would you?
Yeah, if I could afford it.
And what's your favorite part about being a dad?
Her needing me so much.
Is it hard to balance a job and a newborn child?
Yes, I get virtually no sleep.
And what's the hardest part about it?
Virtually no sleep. Because the sleep I do get is constantly interrupted, and so I'm just a walking zombie every single day. I forget things, I don't have things prepared, I'm just not myself. But everyone tells me that part goes away, so.
Did your husband also take time off?
He took a few half days, but for the most part, I had the grandmas to help me when he was first born.
And if you could go part-time or take an extended leave, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full stop. It wouldn't let me.